Hello. Welcome to my Thursday afternoon Facebook Live. Today I have a fun fold card to share with you. I'm just trying to dial me up so I can make sure I can see that you can see what. Excellent. Good. So we're all good. So yes, this is one of my favorite fun folds, and I used to do quite a lot of these. I haven't done one for ages, but this was one of the cards I put together for the library display I made last week, just to show off this super cute, sweet, the Be My Valentine. And the box card folds up and fits into a standard envelope, except I've got one of the wings up a little bit high. But when I make this one, hopefully it will be better for you. Okay, so I called it an exploding box fold, and I've made them with balloons in them. It's like a party in a box, a great way to celebrate. I've also made them with flowers, so it's like a bunch of flowers that never dies, and you give those to a friend. So there we go, I'll pop that there. Now, the way to make these with your standard bit of cardstock, and I use thick cardstock for this one, it just needs a little bit more stability. So I'm using a full half a piece of cardstock. So I just cut it in half. So for A4, that's at 10.5 centimeters. Cut it in half. And then you get 2 cards out of the one piece of cardstock. Now I have already cut my cardstock here at 10.5, and then I've scored it. And I'm going to just measure on my glass mat here. I scored it at 9 centimeters, then 14 centimeters, then 23 centimeters, and then, let me have a look at this last one, 28. So 9, 14, 23, and 28. So the box is actually 9 centimeters by, what did I say that was? 14, so that's 5. So it's 9 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Okay, and then you've got a little extra bit at the end of the card to glue it together. And to make the actual card, all you have to do is, I have cut it in half, I think, so I'm just going to trim off this piece here completely, cutting along my score line then, and then I'll cut along each of these score lines to create the flaps that fold down and also fold up. Okay, and then the last one here. There we go. Oops, sorry. So that's my card finished, basically. So that's the basic card there, and I'll pop it together like that. And then these ones here will all fold down. So I've chosen one to be the back of my card, which I am not folding down the flap. It is scored, but I'm not folding it down, but I'm folding down the other ones, okay? But before I'll stick that together, so I know this one here is going to be the back of my card. So before doing anything else, I'm actually going to stick some cardstock on. I didn't show you before, but here's the writing panel on the back. So that when you give this card to whomever, you can write on it, pop it in an envelope, and then they can open it up to make that fantastic exploding box. All right, so we'll do the back panel. I'll just put a little bit of seal on. Oh, my seal's just finished off there. I have to get a refill. Hang on. The good thing about these seals is that they're so easy to refill. So I've just got my shell here lining up the 3 little plugs there, and then put the top of the shell on, and that's it, refilled. Fantastic. Okay, now I can just pop my seal on my cardstock here. I'm using Poppy Parade and Daffodil Delight, and these colours have been inspired by the designer paper, the Be Mine designer paper that coordinates with the Be My Valentine suite. So Daffodil Delight and Poppy Parade. Now I'll keep this one off so that I can stamp on it later on. And on these 3 panels, I want to use, as I have on this card here, a little bit of the Coordinating Designer Series paper to show off, to make it a fun card to play with. So I've run out of that paper that I've used for this cards, but this is a similar paper that's used in the same suite of paper in the Be Mine suite. So I could go the petal pink, but I'm going to go bright and cheerful with the cute little bees on it. Alright, so I said the box is actually 9 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So this piece here would be 8.5 centimeters. And then if I just measure where I've scored it at 6. So that would be 5.5 centimeters. So I'm going to trim off a piece of Designer Series paper at 5.5 centimeters. Hang on, I'll just pull this in so you can see what I'm doing. 5.5 centimeters, here we go. Right along there. And then cutting my Designer Series paper at 4.5 centimeters, 8.5 centimeters, and another 4.5 centimeters. Okay, so they all go together on the front and sides of my box. And while I'm cutting my paper, I'll cut some for the inside at the back at 8.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters. Okay, there we go. That's all my paper done. I can get you back out of the way. And we'll stick those pieces of paper on before we do anything else. So we've got the first one here. That is 4.5 by 5.5, I believe. There. Oh. Pop that there. Oh, I may have cut that too long, I think. I didn't measure that very well, did I? Oh, centimeters. So 5.5. It should be 5 centimeters, not 5.5. There we go. That looks a bit better. I'll peel this one off because it's a little bit long too. Make it 5 centimeters. It's a little bit sticky, so I'm trying to be very careful. There we go. So 5 centimeters there. And put my next one in. And I've lined up the paper so it all matches up together. It continues the same story. And then I better trim my last one to 5 centimeters as well. There we go. I'll pop that at the top there. Thank you everyone who's joining me today. I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. There we go. So doesn't that look cool with all of those bits of paper lined up perfectly, creating the same theme. Now before we do any more, I'm going to do some stamping on those flaps. I'll just get a scrap piece of paper in here. I've got my flaps here, and I'll use the lovely Be My Valentine stamp set and get my favourite images from the stamp set is the little buzzing bee line, the honeycomb, the tiny little hearts, and this cute flower. Okay, and I'm going to take my inspiration from the actual paper itself. So I'll stamp this cute little flower and the sweet sorbet, the tiny little hearts and some Tahitian Tide. The honeycomb I'll stamp in the Daffodil Delight, and the little buzzy bee line I'll stamp in some Pebbled Path. So let's get some Daffodil Delight for the honeycomb. Now these are the 3 panels I'm going to decorate here. So I've just opened up my card there and just stamp. And while I'm stamping that, I'll also stamp a little bit on the writing panel. There we go, that one's all done. And then with some Pebbled Path, I'll stamp the little meandering bee line. And this actual stamp, because it's photopolymer, it's actually quite easy to line it up and continue the little bee line all the way along. Oop. to create a continuous beeline. There we go. And last of all, oh no, not actually last of all, next I'll put some little sweet sorbet hearts, flowers. Not too many, I don't want it to be too busy. And then the Tahitian tide hearts. Which I love this little stamp with the hearts. It just works so nicely. And I need to line that up again. Thank goodness for photopolymer stamps, so I can line that up to stamp it properly. Obviously didn't put the weight down properly on it evenly. Okay, a couple more hearts here. And some there, some there. There we go. I think that's enough hearts. While I've got my sweet sorbet here, I will also stamp the greeting. You're as sweet as honey. Put that on my long block. And I've just got a tiny little scrap from when I've been cutting out cardstock for this one. It's great to recycle those little bits of leftover pieces, isn't it? You're as sweet as honey. My block's still a bit dirty from using the pebble puff. I have to give that a good clean. And love you for the back of my card in here. For this card, I think you could use for a Valentine's Day card, as the stamp set says, be my Valentine, but you could also use it for any occasion, for a birthday, or for someone just to say, hey you, I think you're lovely. All right, now let's put our box together. I'll put the writing panel on the back, stamp that in there, right in the middle, and then what I do recommend always with making box cards and 3D constructions is to use tear and tape. I find it nice and strong and it holds together really well with the movement that you find in construction cards. And as much as possible, I always fold it flat. That way you'll end up with nice straight lines. So there we go. There's our box done. The little flaps that come down for the little decorative pieces. Now inside the box we need to create a shelf. And I'm just using again another scrap of cardstock for this, but I do need to score it. I need to get my trimmer in here so I can show you how I score that. So as I said, it's 9 centimeters long here, so I'm just going to score with my score blade 2 centimeters, actually, yeah, 2 centimeters on my little strip. Add 9 makes 11 centimeters, and add another 2. Oh, I've not got enough room down the bottom there. Add another 2 centimeters for the other end, makes 13 centimeters. There we go. Actually, oh, I can cut that off actually, because I don't need any more than that. Alright, so again, scoring for 2 shelves, 2 centimeters, add 9 is 11 centimeters, scoring, and then chop it off at 13 centimeters. There we go. So my 2 shelves then, this is probably the trickiest part about making a box card like this, is actually popping these in. So I like to fold them in a Z fold and then just pop them in like that, one at a time. See how they work? I will have to glue them, of course, but Z fold like that and that. All right, so I will put some tear and tape on both of them. You can use Tombow glue if you like, but as I said, I prefer the strength of the tear and tape for these sorts of box cards. And the important thing is to try and keep it as straight as possible. Okay, so I'm going to line up my shelf right there on the top and the other end of my shelf right on the top, and then fold the box shut to actually adhere it together, okay? Rather than trying to work out if I'm straight or not, when you fold the box it actually puts it all in the same right shape to work it, okay? Right, so my next shelf, just line that up at the top edge there, and then this one down there, and then, oh, that's not going to work. Has to be parallel to the other one, and I might have to trim my ends. They might be a bit too long to fit in with the other one. So I'll pop that line up straight there and straight there, and then again folding it both ways to make sure it stays nice and flat and folds properly. There you go. Now I'm going to put inside the rest of that paper to continue the theme, and I'll just put some seal on that there, 1, 2, and line that up inside. There we go. That hides the join in the card where we've done the join. And then I'll put my lovely cute greeting, "You're as sweet as honey," on the front of my card. Lining it up with some edge of my dimensionals, which works really well. There you go, "You're as sweet as honey." And then the next thing we have to do is embellish the inside of our card with all of those little bees, and using the fantastic little bee punch, the bee builder punch that comes with the bundle. So I'm going to load up my stamp with the bee stripes onto some Daffodil Delight cardstock, and I've got the punch here so I can see which way it goes, so that I know which way I'm going to stamp. Alright, so with my pebbled path, oops, just wipe my thumb there, flip over my cardstock, stamp my bees, 1, 2, 3, get another piece here, 4, 5, that's probably enough bees. And also with my pebbled path, I'll stamp some wings onto vellum. Now the wings get cut out with the heart part of the punch, so I'll pop them onto my vellum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I might do one more. Will that fit? 6, there we go. A couple of them didn't quite stamp properly. There we go. With vellum you do have to let it dry a little bit, so I'm just going to set that one aside and punch up my bees. Alright, and then lining up my stamped image inside my bee punch. Easily make some cute little bees. There we go, there's 2. And then one, 2, 3. I've also got a couple of little yellow Daffodil Delight hearts when I punched that out, and then so with the rest of my scrap I'll just punch a couple more hearts that I can use to embellish my card. Oh, I have a bit of cardstock in there, I think. There we go. Oh, and we need to do some little faces on these guys too. This stamp set has 4 cute little faces you can use. And my favourite is the little tiny smiling eyes and mouth face. So I'll just pop that on my smallest block, which is the easiest one to use. Put my bees in a couple of different directions. And the Pebbled Path ink again, and just tap, tap, tap. Put some cute little faces. I've found putting their faces towards the top rather than bottom seems to make in my opinion, a better looking face. And that one there. Aren't they the cutest little bees? Alright, what else do I need to do? Got my bee. Oh, my wings. Let's have a look. Are they dry yet? They look like they might be dry. And use my bee punch. Oh, it seems to be a little bit jammed here actually. I might have to just cut these out with scissors till I can sort that one out. And they are quite easy to chop with scissors, just following the little shape of the wings. I'm going to leave a little edge on the bottom so that they're easy to stick onto my bee bodies, which won't be seen when you're putting your bees together on your card. There we go, 1, 2, 3. Four. Oh. 5. There we are, 5 little wings. And now I just need to put a little bit of seal at the base of each of those and line that up, pop that onto the bee. Easy peasy. There we go, and a little one on this side. I'm not using my seal very well, am I? It keeps rolling back up into the container. I think sometimes it's easier to use with large areas of gluing adhesion than just the small ones. And one more. I hope my fan's not too noisy for you. It's another very warm day and I need the fan on in my craft room just to keep me cool. Okay, there we go. There's my little bees. And then somewhere amongst my pile of things I have, when you buy your stamps, that all of the stamps, especially the photopolymer, come on one of these little pieces of, what do you call it? Acetate. So I recycle them for all sorts of things, and this is one of the ways I recycle them, is by using them on my interactive cards like this. So I'm just going to snip each piece of acetate, which you can't see when you put the card together. Okay, so on the back of my bee I just put a little bit of seal and some acetate, and then a little bit of seal at the base, and then I can pop that inside my box. And I usually like to start from the front, works the best. Okay, another bit of glue top and bottom. Mini glue dots are a great way to do this as well. I don't have any just at the minute I can use, so I have to use the seal. My little bridge has fallen off there. Okay, a bit more seal. Oh. There we go. I put him on at a bit of an angle so he looks like he's flying up. Put him at the back here. So it's just basically like flower decorating when you're putting together your little things inside your gift box there. A little bit down there. And one here. Oh, no, too much, too close together. And the last one, I might put this one on the back, so I'll put my adhesive on the back of my acetate. There you go. So there's the little bees, and then we can add some hearts as well. Put one little heart here inside my box, and then these two little hearts I'll add with a tiny dimensional just in the center of each of them. Here we go. You're as sweet as honey at the front of my card. There you go. That's one of my fun fold cards, the exploding box card. It folds up flat for postage and fits inside a standard envelope. I hope you'll have a go. They are super fun to make and super fun to receive. Another card I made with exactly the same fold but in a different orientation uses the Flight and Airy paper and the beautiful seasonal branches dies to create a lovely little beautiful blue and floral card. I hope you enjoyed that and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye now.